Good evening and welcome to Essential Oils for Beginners. So this is going to be a really great introduction for you if you are fairly new to the oils or you've not yet experienced doTERRA essential oils. So I'm going to get right in and share my screen with you. Here we go. Essential Oils for Beginners, yay. So this is me. I'm Alison Bartolo and this is my husband Anthony. And these are our three little munchkins. So our wellness business is Healthy Munchkins. And it was our little ones that really inspired us to go on this journey of natural health and really finding solutions that weren't synthesized. So we initially actually got the oils about 5 or 6 years ago, and unfortunately we didn't know what to do with them, and so we put them in a cupboard for about 2.5 years. So now we are extremely passionate about actually teaching people what to do with them. So we have a beautiful oils community of over, well, almost 1,200 people now, and we support them as a full-time business. So we used to own our own cafe, but 7 or 8 months ago now we actually sold that and we both work together on this business. So we were brought to the oils certainly for the health benefits, being able to replace our medicine cabinet, not have to use any synthetic remedies on any of our kids or ourselves for almost 3 years now has been absolutely life-changing for us. But it has gone a lot further than that, where we've been able to use them in so many other elements of the home. So we make all our own cleaning products, we make all our own body products, or we buy plant-based ones from doTERRA. We use them to help us emotionally, and we use them in our cooking, and so it just has taken over so many areas of our life, and there's so many things we've been able to replace, which means it's actually become a really affordable thing in our home, because one bottle of, say, lemon can cover so many areas of our home. So my business or wellness philosophy is that being well is our default value. So our body is going to do everything it can to establish wellness, and in order for that to happen, we really need to give it the optimal environment for that to happen. So by that we mean, eating good foods and not putting processed rubbish in our bodies, reducing the amount of chemicals that are, even pesticides that are on our foods. It means exercising right. It means, and that's just not physical exercise, it's emotional exercise as well. So it's about reducing our stress load. It's about knowing how to handle ourselves through moments of stress. It's about having enough sleep and getting enough sleep. It's about really nourishing our bodies in all these different areas. It's about reducing our toxic load. And this is a really important one. So a lot of homes are filled with, synthetic sprays that we're cleaning with, and a lot of horrible ingredients in body products. And especially women cover themselves in synthetic ingredients from the moment they wake up in the morning until they go to bed at night. And all of this is adding to our toxic load. So my belief is that if we can provide the optimal environment for our body and reduce this toxic load, then when we do come under threat from something, whether that's a seasonal threat or a stress threat, then our body's not busy trying to flush all these toxins out. It's actually can deal with the problem that's at hand. So this is my wellness philosophy, and it is very closely aligned with doTERRA's. So this is doTERRA's wellness ladder, and here again, they're looking at all the similar things that we're looking at in terms of maintaining a state of wellness. So I'd really like you to stop right now and have a think and really look at these different levels or layers and see, where does your life really need some focus and attention right now? Do you need to be focusing on your gut and what's going in there and eating right and nourishing your gut? Do you need to be focusing on exercise and that physical wellness in your body externally? Do you need to be managing stress in your life better? Do you need to be getting more rest? And do you need to think about reducing that toxic load around your home? And then we're also going into this healthcare of informed self-care and proactive medical care. So for us in our home, it's really beautiful to see our children look inwards for the answers instead of them feeling sick and us outsourcing that care. We stop as a first port of call and actually get them to address how they are feeling from the inside. So we can use the oils or any natural product and say, what feels right for you? And even just that question makes them stop and actually look inward and become more in tune with their bodies. So this is what it's about. It's us about getting to know ourselves a little bit better and really keying into our own bodies. So today we are going to go through the top 10 oils from doTERRA. So doTERRA is an incredible company. It is the biggest essential oil company in the world, but that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is why that is and why it's such an incredible company. So these are the oils that I align myself with. Now, these top 10 oils are absolutely fantastic as a kit. So as a collective, these will replace your medicine cabinet. They will be able to be used for cleaning, for cooking, for emotional health, for sleep, for skin. So really so many things, and help with gut health. So in terms of a starter kit, these are just the absolute most powerful way to start as a collective. Now, we're going to be skimming over some of these quite quickly just because we've got a lot to cover this evening. But if you do join our team, or there's lots of teams around that will give you online education as once you have your oils, so that you actually know a lot more in depth what to do with each and every one of these oils. So we're just going to give you a little, just an overview today. So starting, what are essential oils? So essential oils are aromatic compounds. They are 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. So if you look at this image here, the image on the right is actually a magnified peppermint leaf that you can see over there on the left. So those little things that look like egg sacs, they are actually oil sacs. So if you rub a peppermint leaf together in your hands and you can smell peppermint, well, you've just burst all the little essential oil sacs and you've got essential oils on your hands. So inside these little sacs are highly therapeutic little compounds that have amazing health and healing properties. So they are what protects the plant from molds and viruses and environmental threats. It's like the immune system of the plant. It's what keeps it alive. So, or like the lifeblood. So it's those parts that we're actually extracting and using on our body. I can just ask everyone to mute themselves. Oh, I've done it. It's all good. So yeah, that's what we are utilizing. Now, plants are from nature. We say plants, but it could be timber, it could be the roots, it could come from the leaves, but we just say plants because it's easier. But the plants are from nature, we are from nature, and so our bodies recognize them and they just work so quickly. And that's what you'll find when you use the oils, is that just work so incredibly quickly on your body. So we are going to talk about peppermint. So if you have your peppermint, please grab it out. And if you would like to experience the incredible potency of this oil, then I encourage you to, with your own, no one's forcing you to do this. If you would like to do it, one way to really feel the benefits of peppermint is to put a drop on your hand and have a lick off. Now, 1 drop of peppermint is equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. So just, yeah, be prepared for a nice explosion when you feel that. Now, straight away, I can feel that. Obviously, it's totally freshened up my mouth. I use this as my own mouthwash, which is way cheaper than any stuff you buy at the shops and so much better for you. I also use it to relieve head tension, so I can put this around the back of my neck. I can feel it now completely opening up my sinuses, so it's very clearing to the sinus. I can also now feel it in my chest, so it's very much opening my respiratory system and my airways, which is really, really clear and beautiful. Peppermint is also really good for digestive issues, so it really does do so many parts of your body, bringing relief. It can reduce the body temperature as well, so that's not something I choose to use it for, because sometimes when the body raises its temperature, it's for a reason, and our bodies are really clever. So we always want to go with supporting the body. But even just on a hot day here in Brisbane, we might get some peppermint in some water and just a few drops in a little spritzer bottle, and just shake that up before we use it, because obviously oil and water don't mix. And then you could spray that over your body and it's going to give you such a cooling sensation. So if you've just been in the sun or something like that, that might feel really lovely for you. Peppermint is also really good at repelling bugs, so ants, mice and spiders. If you have an ant problem, you can literally just get some cotton wool and dab it around where they come in, and they will not come in at all. Like, they just will not touch that area. So yeah, it's a really good one to diffuse as well, because it's oxygenating to the blood, so it's very invigorating and uplifting. And if you have just done the lick, then you'll certainly feel that in your body. You certainly couldn't go to sleep straight after doing that. So lemon is the next one we're going to talk about. Now, lemon is absolutely incredible. There's 45 lemons it takes to make a bottle this size, a 15 milliliter bottle. And lemon is just incredibly cleansing. So it's really cheap. It's 5 cents a drop. So I use it in all my cleaning products, which makes it, really economical way to do cleaning around the home. It just cuts through grease, breaks down petrochemicals, takes sticky labels off things really easily with just a drop. It will clean your jewelry. I like to actually take a drop in my water and it's actually going to break down those petrochemicals in my body and flushing out toxins, which is absolutely incredible. And unlike the flesh or the inside of lemon, which can actually break down the enamel on your teeth, and it's also quite acidic, the lemon itself, or any citrus, the oil comes from the rind, so it has a very different effect. Has no nutritional value, but it has a very high therapeutic value. So I just put a couple of drops in my water. I also drink frankincense every day, which we'll talk about later, and that is fantastic. But there are a couple of cautions. So the first one is that because it is so great at breaking down petrochemicals, it will break down plastic. So if you are using a plastic bottle, it's going to start breaking down that bottle and you're going to be ingesting that. So it's really important that you're not using plastic. The other thing is that citrus oils can make your skin photosensitive. So lemon, lavender, and peppermint is a really, really common blend for people to use for seasonal threats if they're feeling really irritated in those areas. They can make a little roller bottle with some lemon, lavender, and peppermint in it. So these, I know you might not be able to see, I know I'm very small on the screen. These are the roller bottles. You would just put maybe 5 drops of oil in there, or maybe 2 lemon, 2 lavender, 2 peppermint. Fill the rest with the carrier oil. I'm going to talk about all that later. And you can put it around the area, and that's going to really help alleviate those feelings. But if you then go out into the sun, you could end up with a bit of photosensitivity on your skin. So make sure you're putting it somewhere underneath where your clothing is, or you can actually take all 3 of those oils internally, and we're going to talk about later how to do that as well. So deep blue, or in Australia we actually call this ice blue. It's exactly the same thing, but it's just called a different name just because of licensing thingies in the different countries. So if you see deep blue or ice blue, no, it's the same thing. And there is a few other deep blue and ice blue products as well. So this is a beautiful blend that actually smells like other products that you use on your skin for pain. And it's got a very strong smell of wintergreen. And instead of something that's synthetic, that may smell similar, where they've copied the chemical structures that smell similar to us, where they just actually, what they'll do is extract little compounds out of the whole chemistry. So the essential oils have this huge, huge complex chemistry. And when they make synthetic remedies, they will actually isolate little compounds. They think, well, we think this bit's the bit that helps with that. We think this bit's the bit that helps with that. They'll synthetically copy those little these isolated parts and make a remedy from that. But you're missing out on the entire beautiful chemistry of the oil. So when we've got the oils, it's actually so much quicker and better and more nourishing for our bodies. So this amazing blend is good for any sort of pain. It's a beautiful blend of wintergreen, camphor, peppermint, lang-lang, helichrysum, which has got amazing binding properties, blue tansy, blue chamomile, so it's soothing as well, and osmanthus. So if you smell it now, if you've got that with you, take a deep breath of that. You can smell, it just smells like it'll be really good for pain. This is a really good man converter. So this does come in a rub as well, where there's a whole bottle of the essential oil in a very manly looking rub, which can be good if you've got a skeptical man about the house. So yeah, what we're doing with the oils is, instead of masking those symptoms, so you might have other things that will maybe shut off your pain receptors or really numb an area. But with the essential oils, we're working in a completely different way. We're actually allowing the oils to, transfer into our body, because they're what's called transdermal. So they travel through your layers of skin. And that is where the actual can help. They can actually help your body with self-healing. So your body is the one that does all the work, and the oils kickstart that and get that happening. So I just want to give you a little diagram here. So this is a cell of your body. Hopefully they're not all bright purple. And we have viruses. Now, viruses hide away on the insides of cells, and bacteria sit on the outside of cells. So bacteria are big and they're thick and they're clunky, and they cannot penetrate into the cells. So that's where they live. They live on the outside of cells. Now, essential oils are actually what's called lipid soluble. Now, what that means is that they are incredibly tiny. So in one drop of essential oil, there are 40 million trillion molecules of essential oil. So that is actually more than there are cells in our body, which is, which explains why they're actually smaller than a cell. So because of this, they're not like the bacteria. They're not big. They are really small, and they can actually penetrate through the lipid bilayer, which is the outside of the cell, and transfer into the inside. So this is really exciting, because when we have synthetic remedies, they often are, well, they are very big, like the bacteria. And so they can't get inside to something like the virus. They can get rid of the bacteria, but most of the bacteria, or you'd hope most of the time, is actually what supports our body, and we need good bacteria, and it's, yeah, the vast majority of it is good. So we, and I just ask everyone to keep their microphones off, please. Thank you. So with essential oils, we have this amazing capacity to actually support ourselves when we do come under threat, which is incredible. So the oil that we've had the most amazing experiences with, that I can share with you in a private forum if you come to any of my classes, is with this OnGuard blend. So the OnGuard blend is the protective blend, and this is an incredible blend of wild orange, cinnamon, eucalyptus, rosemary, and clove. Now, clove is the world's most powerful antioxidant. So antioxidants are basically what stabilize free radicals in our body. Free radicals are what I call the naughty cells. They're the ones that disrupt. They're the ones that make us sick. They're the ones that also age us. So if we've got foods that are high in antioxidants, it actually stabilizes these naughty cells so that we are less likely to come under those threats. So foods that we often think of in high in antioxidants are things like blueberries or kale or pomegranates or beetroot, like anything that's really rich in color. So that also includes dark chocolate and red wine, just so you know. And these are all measured on something called the ORAC scale. So this is the oxygen radical absorption capacity. So this ability to absorb and take away these naughty cells. So blueberries actually measure 2,400 on the ORAC scale. They're considered to be really high in antioxidants. Pomegranates measure even more at 3,000. But clove, think in your head what it might be. What might clove measure as the world's most powerful antioxidant? And then let me blow you away when I tell you it's 1,078,000. So nothing comes close to clove in this power to stabilize these free radicals. Literally nothing. The next highest thing on the planet is myrrh, which is another one of our essential oils, and that's about half of what clove is. So that's one of the ingredients in this oil, and it's one of the reasons why it's so incredibly effective at helping us when we feel like we're coming under threat. So if I get so much as a tickly throat, or things just don't feel right around my ears, or you know, that area where you just feel discomfort, I will just apply this to my body, and we'll talk about all the ways we can do that. Or you can diffuse it, but I like to get it on my body to feel real results from it. There's also heaps of different cleaning products that doTERRA do, because this has been shown to really kill off the bad stuff and not the good stuff. They do a hand sanitizer in it, which hasn't got nasty ingredients in it. They have a hand wash, which is absolutely brilliant when you've got kids around. They've got a cleaner concentrate, which we use in all our cleaning things. We actually just add a few drops to all our sprays and everything. I mean, I just love the idea that something that's safe to ingest, that instead of like horrible synthetic stuff spraying over, say, my chopping board to sanitize it, I can actually use something that's safe to ingest, but it's going to kill off all those things. So definitely do some research into OnGuard. You can look on pubmed.gov and look at a lot of research articles about this. It's an incredibly powerful oil. If you've got kids around the house, then I would not even leave the house for one day without it. So I want to talk a little bit about doTERRA and why I only use doTERRA oils. So number one is really the quality. If you have the oils already, just smelling them, you will just know. You can smell it straight away. There's nothing like these. So unfortunately, the essential oil industry is completely unregulated. So there are no essential oil police that come along and say, you know, we need to test these bottles or see what's in there. So what's on the label of the bottle, there's nobody who's policing that to see if that's right. If anyone has seen Dr. Robert Pappas, he's basically an essential oil guru, and he has a Facebook page, and he does Facebook shaming, and that's about as bad as it gets, or as good as it gets. So he just invites people to send in their, that went the wrong way. So he invites you to send your essential oils in, and he will test them in his laboratories. And he's produced results, and I've shared some of these on my Facebook page. Like there was a frankincense that was 100% pure, therapeutic, organic, like all the words you want to hear. And the ingredients were 100% Boswellia serrata, which is frankincense. And he found in there no trace of frankincense whatsoever, and a tiny smidgen of patchouli essential oil. That was the only essential oil that was in the bottle. The rest was all completely synthetics and fillers. So there's many examples of that. So unfortunately, when we're going to the shops, we just don't know what we're getting on the shelves at all. Now, doTERRA obviously guarantee that they provide 100% purity, but they go so much further than that. So doTERRA is about purity, and it's also about potency. And there is a big difference between purity and potency. So a really easy example in my head is cedarwood. Cedarwood is a timber, and you imagine the trunk. And they analysed every single ring of the cedarwood tree, and they found that the inner tube of the trunk was the part where the most highly therapeutic oil was coming from. So the oil on the outside of the timber is still 100% pure, but when we're looking at this profiling and what's best for our bodies, there are huge, huge differences, and that's what I call the potency. So doTERRA, you can actually, they have a website called sourcetoyou.com, so sourcetoyou.com, and there is a batch number on the bottom of every single bottle, and you can actually go and look at the test results and look at the analysis of your oil. So every single batch is tested, not only by doTERRA, but by third-party independent testers, and it's tested on site where it's grown as well. So you can see just on this screen, it's not particularly clear, but just a snapshot of some of the testing methods that they use. So it is very in-depth, and you can look into that more as well. So one of the ways that they can guarantee this purity is, or potency, should I say, is that they actually source the oils where they thrive in their indigenous environment. So you imagine it's a little bit like wine. You can have a grape, particular grape species, and you can grow it in one part of the world compared to another part of the world and produce a completely different wine experience. So their climate is different, their soil is different, everything about that environment is different. And they found that where it thrives in its natural environment is actually where it's best produced, or where its therapeutic profiling matches, is the best that they found on the planet. So for example, tea tree and eucalyptus are sourced in Australia because that makes sense, and lemon is sourced from Sicily. Like, it just makes sense. You can just imagine the soil and the climate is going to be best there. So instead of having all these farms in, say, America, and they've got exactly the same conditions for every single oil, they're really utilizing the planet. And one of the most amazing things about this is, out of the 46 countries that they are sourcing from, 25 of these are actually developing nations. So they have a huge opportunity to give back and actually help these communities. So this picture here on the left is actually one of the company owners, Emily Wright. And this was her out in Nepal just 2 years ago, shortly after the Nepalese earthquake that killed over 10,000 people. And where they actually sourced the wintergreen that's in that deep blue or ice blue blend that we were talking about is very close to the epicenter. And they just went out immediately and rebuilt 200 homes for them. They built classrooms. They finished building a school there a couple of months ago as well. And these are the people just so full of gratitude. And this is above and beyond what they're getting paid for the essential oils. It's what's part of what's called the Healing Hands Foundation. So the whole point of doTERRA is that it was founded on the idea that sourcing essential oils could not only give us in the developed world the best possible experience, but it could also have this impact across the globe. And that model is called co-impact sourcing, because it is impacting both sides of that. So there are a number of projects that the Healing Hands Foundation work on. They over and above what they pay the wages for the farmers, and just on a word with that, they could easily go in and actually buy up the land. So in these poor countries, it would be much cheaper for them actually to go in and buy the land and employ the farmers. But instead of doing that, they actually want to pay the farmers much more than they've ever been paid before, so that these farmers can own their own land and grow and, from the root up. And that is the whole point and purpose of doTERRA. So they are working in Haiti, they're working in Nepal, they are working in a lot of countries in South America and a lot of countries in Asia. And they pay them by yield, not by yield, sorry, they pay monthly instead of yield. So previously they would pay them, other distributors would pay them according to what they could produce. So as soon as they could produce a vat of vetiver or whatever it is, they would get paid. Now doTERRA pay monthly regardless of yield. So if their crop suffers from a flood or something out of their hands, then they are going to get paid regardless. That is the way they look after them. Now on top of that, they encourage all our users to donate $1 with every order, and that contributes towards the Healing Hands Foundation. Now this is where they can work on projects like building the schools and working with Days for Girls and Operation Underground Railroad that you see here. So when they were out in Nepal. And even just last week, the lady who introduced me to the oils, she actually went out to Africa on a co-impact sourcing trip where they installed fresh, clean running water for a community. Now, this is, you know, it's fantastic, and it's going to revolutionize their health, the fact that they can actually have access to clean drinking water. But the path that they were previously walking to collect dirty water was to crocodile infested waters. So a little girl just lost her arm just the week before last. But also the path, the 2 to 3 kilometer path that they were walking, that's where there is the highest incidence of rape. So the fact that they no longer have to walk this and have access to fresh, clean drinking water within their community is absolutely huge. And there are these projects going on all over the globe. They pretty much finish building a school somewhere about every 2 to 3 months. They'll have finished building a school somewhere. So they do align themselves with established organisations such as Days for Girls, where we provide sanitary packs for girls who were previously going and looking for cow dung to put, you know, dried out cow dung to use as pads instead of having actually sanitary pads. And they teach them how to wash these, and they educate them. They educate the women and the men about menstruation, so the women are no longer ostracized from society, so the girls can actually still go to school even though they're bleeding. They work with Operation Underground Railroad. So if you don't know anything about this organization, this is all about eliminating childhood sex trafficking. So they have a blend called Hope that doTERRA has produced, and it costs $26 here in Australia, and all $26 goes towards Operation Underground Railroad. The doTERRA entirely cover the cost of the product, of the blend itself and the packaging, etc. And every single dollar that you give to the Healing Hands Foundation, which, you know, is maybe $1 per order, goes straight to the project. So I don't know if you know something like the Heart Foundation. If you to donate $1 to the Heart Foundation, 70 cents of that actually goes to running the Heart Foundation, and 30 cents goes on the projects. Every single cent that you donate to the Healing Hands Foundation, or you buy the Hope Blend, or there's other products that you can buy where it's completely donated, every single cent goes towards the projects, and doTERRA entirely covers the cost of all admins and all overheads for these projects. So if you'd like to know a little bit more about this, I could literally talk all day about it, but if you want to know a little bit more, you can go to my website, so healthymunchkins.com.au, and just search co-impact sourcing, and there's links out to some of the different projects that they're working on. And I highly encourage you to look into it, because it's just absolutely gorgeous that a company who is so based on love and wanting to do the right thing is being so successful. So we're going to talk now how to actually use the oils. So we're going to start with aromatic use, because this is what most people think of when they think of essential oils, is that they smell nice and we want to breathe them in. So there's a number of ways that we can do that. We can just literally breathe in through the bottle, and this is a beautiful way to have an instant impact or effect on your body. So when you breathe in smells, it actually goes into your limbic system, which is the part of your brain that manages moods, states, emotions, and long-term memory, which is why we have such a strong association with memory and smells. So we can actually alter our emotional state within 4 to 7 seconds by breathing in a smell. So this is an incredibly powerful thing, and we have seen such huge transformations within our team in terms of emotional health based on a number of things that we do. And if you're interested in that, please come to an emotions class, because it's absolutely fascinating. But for everyday use, if we put some oils, we want to really use a diffuser. So before I knew anything about oils, like proper essential oils, we used to have a burner and we would buy rubbish essential oils and we would put drops in. Now, when you heat the oils, it actually changes the chemical structure, and therefore it actually changes the therapeutic value. So we always want to keep the oils at room temperature as much as possible. And the same when we're using them in cooking, we want to do that too. So an ultrasonic diffuser will use vibration to release a very fine, cool mist, as opposed to a vaporizer or humidifier, which has the water particles are much thicker and heavier and may actually add moisture to your walls and contribute to mold problems and that sort of thing. So you want to get an ultrasonic diffuser. I love this one that's in the picture here. This is the Petal diffuser from doTERRA. It's absolutely fantastic. So when you're using a diffuser, there are no rules really. You can get creative. So you don't just have to use one oil. You can use a little bit of this, a little bit of that. I would say just start small. So you just fill up the water with water to the red dot, and then you add whatever oils in you want. So get creative. Nothing's going to sort of have any bad effects if they put together. It's just going to add value. So it's about what you like. In terms of the amounts, it really depends on your own preference and also the size of the space. So I usually say for a bedroom, I just use usually 2 or 3 drops because it's an enclosed space. But if we were doing it in our large open plan area, then I might use 5 or 6. So it really just depends. Some people have got all the windows and doors open and some people are already shut in. So start small and then you can always add more in and you'll really get to know what's right in there. Now you can put any single oil in the diffuser. I personally don't do some of the sort of tummy blend ones because they smell, or even the ice blue or deep blue, that sort of smells like it needs to be on the skin. But you still could diffuse it and that's totally fine. It's your choice. The one I like to talk about when we're diffusing is what's called Breathe in the US or Canada or the UK. But here in Australia, we call it Easy Air. So this one really has all the things that we know are really supportive to our respiratory system. So it's got that peppermint in that we experienced earlier. It's got laurel leaf, it's got eucalyptus and tea tree and lemon, ravensara and cardamom. So all these things we know are really supportive and opening to our airways. So it's a beautiful one to have in the diffuser, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the only way you can use it, and it's certainly not the only one you can put in there. So we also use this and apply this topically to our body, and we'll talk about how to do that as well. This also helps noisy husbands at night, sometimes wives too, but in our house it's the husband. So putting them topically just means putting them on our bodies. So the best places to do this are the soles of the feet. Now this is the fastest way for it to get absorbed into our system. The other ways where we can put them are up our spine, just because all your nerve endings run up your spine, so it's a really quick way of getting it in. The back of the neck is a fantastic place. Again, all your nerve endings meet there before they go into your brain. If I had a knee pain or a shoulder pain, then I'm going to be using something like the ice blue or frankincense where the pain is. But if I'm looking for a systemic response, if I'm looking to feel calm or relaxed, or if I'm looking for an immune support boost, then it really is just about the soles of the feet, and wherever you feel, wherever you put it on, it's going to go to where it's needed. It's just a bit faster if you do it on the feet. So I'm going to just stop now and show you a really quick video. Hopefully about showing you how fast this will work and when you put it on the soles of your feet.
Now the neat thing about the oils is when you use them on your skin, the body absorbs them really quickly, right? We mentioned that earlier. So I want to share with you, I want to give you a visual so you can see how this works. This is a live blood cell test using a dark field microscope. And what this is showing is blood cells, red blood cells, and they should be round and free-flowing. This is a condition called Rouleau. Doesn't matter. All it means is these cells are not able to oxygenate. They're not able to provide nutrition to the body. This person had very low energy, very poor health. And we took them and put balance on the bottom of their feet, waited only 30 seconds and retested, and this was the difference. Okay, pretty significant, right? That was 30 seconds. Now this is, you can see that the cells you see the glow around them, okay, that they're living and vibrant. And of course they're on a dish under a microscope, so they're gonna start dying now because they're no longer in the body, but this is how they're supposed to look. This way they can provide nutrients, carry nutrients, they can oxygenate, and that's one of the huge benefits of the oil.
There are a couple of cautions with using them topically. So hopefully you saw how effective they are with that. That's Balance, by the way. That's the grounding blend, which we use constantly. Adults and children in our house just brings an instant calming effect to us. We've really noticed that and feel so much more grounded when we have that on, because it's got really big tree oils in there. So that's not part of the kit, but it's a beautiful one that you can add later. So we do always want to dilute the oils when we're putting them on our body. It is super, super important that we don't put them on neat because they're actually more effective when we dilute them. It's more economical, and some of the oils are quite hot and they could actually burn your skin. So there are different levels. Some of them are, quite mild, and some of them are medium, and some of them are hot. So you will get to know them. So I always recommend when you're starting out to dilute them in a carrier oil. I use the doTERRA's fractionated coconut oil. So this is a coconut oil that has, it's had the heavy fatty chains removed. So it never goes solid, not even in winter. It will always be really light and fine. It will always be liquid. And it's so thin that it will actually go through a little spritzer bottle like this, so you can actually spray this straight onto your skin. It's got no smell, which I really like, because we're putting this on our kids' feet pretty much most nights when they go to bed. And it doesn't make the bed sheets all oily and that sort of thing. And I'm not particularly a fan of the smell of coconut oil in its original form. So this is a really, really beautiful light, fine oil. that will carry the oils really deep into the body, into that cellular level, which we know the essential oils are amazing at. So I do recommend a dilution ratio of 2 milliliters of the carrier oil to 1 drop of essential oil. So, hope you're listening. This is a 10 milliliter roller bottle. And if I'm putting 2 milliliters of carrier oil to 1 drop of essential oil, just have a think about in a sec, how many drops of oil would you be putting in this 10 ml bottle? Like how many drops of essential oil? And hopefully you got 5. So whatever it is, you halve it. So if you've got a 10 ml bottle, you put 5 drops in. If you've got a 30 ml bottle, then you put in 15 drops. So it's pretty simple. Now that is for adults. For children, we want to halve that again. So for my children, I literally just put 2 or 3 drops in here. So I really do recommend getting yourself some little roller and spray bottles. When we first got the oils, we didn't have those, and we were pouring the coconut oil into our hands. We were chasing around 3 children, trying to get it on their feet at night, and we were using a lot of essential oil each night, whereas when we then got ourselves the roller bottles, we were just using 2 or 3 drops, and this would last us months. So I did then find with the roller bottles that my kids were finding them really tickly on their feet, so we've sort of upgraded to the sprays for anything that we use consistently on the feet. For sort of head tension and for tummy troubles, I really like the rollers still. It just feels really nice. But it's just, yeah, up to you to get those. So you can get those from aromatools.com or au.aromatools.com if you're in Australia. Locally to me, there are some great places like My Essential Extras and Essential Bits and Bobs, which you can just find on Facebook, and they're really good quality, and they're the ones I personally use. If you're in the UK or elsewhere, there's essentoils.co.uk. So just, you can do a bit of, or Amazon, there's heaps of places you can use them. So there are a couple of cautions again with, is that going to move on? Cautions with topical use. Hope you like my little man here. So we want to be cautious of bits and pits. So anywhere sensitive, basically, just you want to avoid the oils, and that includes in the bath. So it's having essential oils in the bath is an absolutely beautiful thing to do. But if you imagine you pour a drop in the bath and then you go and sit on that, it's not going to be very comfortable. So you just still want to dilute it in your carrier oil first. So just pour a bit of carrier oil in your hand, put your drops in, and then mix that in, and then you can have loads of little diluted bubbles as opposed to some really uncomfortable ones. So we also want to be careful of eyes, nose, and ears. So peppermint, you will find if you have your kit at some stage, unless you're an anomaly in life, peppermint will get into your eyes. So if that does happen, water makes it worse. So just get some sort of carrier oil. If you're not near your coconut oil, I literally had it happened to me in the kitchen, and I grabbed some olive oil and I just chucked it on my eye, and it was instant relief. So just be cautious of that. Don't put them inside your nose. You can use little nasal inhalers, but don't actually put the oils inside your nose otherwise. I don't know why you would, but please don't. And your ears. So your ears are really, really sensitive as well. Now, if you do have ear discomfort, then tea tree is an absolutely incredible oil. So it's called Melaleuca or tea tree, depending on whether in the US or Australia. Now, we just put a couple of drops of this on cotton wool and hold it over the ear, and the vapor itself is enough to just relieve that discomfort. We also will dilute this in the carrier oil and place it around the neck where it will drain away. And it's just absolutely incredible how it's worked for us in our family, just time and time again, especially when kids go back to swimming and that sort of thing, and we're dealing with those sorts of things. It just works so incredibly well. The tea tree is also really good for anything skin, anything like repelling nits, all the things that you probably know. Tea tree is a really common one, but if you smell this one, you'll smell the difference, how pure and how potent this is. It's a really good one to add to any immune blends that you're making and that sort of thing as well. I'll often combine tea tree with lavender. They just seem to marry really well together. So lavender is kind of our Swiss Army knife of the essential oils, and it's soothing and relaxing. So whether that's soothing and relaxing to our skin when we've got aggravations on our skin, or whether it's soothing and relaxing to our emotions to help us really calm down, or whether it's soothing and relaxing to help us actually go to sleep. So this is a great one to combine with those properties of tea tree. So if we have any aggravations on the skin, we will be using both of those, and I'll often use frankincense in there as well. So frankincense, lavender, and tea tree is kind of like our owie blend if we have any owies in the house. So I'm going to talk about internal use of the oils. Now, internal use is a controversial subject, and if you're looking online, you'll see there are haters for those of us who use essential oils internally. And I personally think that's a really good thing that people don't think it's safe, because we've seen that the quality of oils that we can buy in the regular shops, they're not safe to ingest. And if people generally thought that they were, we would have a really dangerous scenario on our hands. So I'm personally really grateful that there's caution around this. And that's why we highly encourage people to come to workshops and actually learn about the oils and actually get keyed into the resources and the science articles, and actually learn about this from real life experience as well. So I personally use the oils internally, but if you don't feel comfortable with it, then you don't have to do it. They are so powerful topically. Like, we've helped issues in our daughter's tummy by just using the oils topically. We haven't had to use those internally to get to the gut. So they work really powerfully either way. But you'll see here that they do actually have supplement facts boxes on them. They are legally allowed to be ingested, and it is safe so long as you're doing it in a really obviously responsible manner. So the most important thing is that not all oils are safe to ingest. Just like in nature, we don't generally eat trees and that sort of thing. So you'll find that those oils are not safe for ingestion. If you're not sure, you can literally just Google it. So you can Google like doTERRA lemon, and it will have an A, a T, and an I. So that's for aromatic, topical, and internal. So if that I is there, then you're good to go. And if it's not, then you're not. Then it's not. You will be able to tell from the bottle itself, but say, I don't know, if you've poured some into a separate bottle and you can't remember, that's a good way to be able to look it up. So in terms of internal use, there's two ways to use them. One is oral use and one is digestive use or ingestion. So ingestion is obviously about traveling through our gut, and oral use is about getting into our bloodstream as quickly as possible. So that would be a drop under the tongue or a drop on your thumb pushed to the roof of your mouth. So I used frankincense in this way when I had discomfort in my head, and it instantly relieved that for me. I had that experience, and so now I personally choose to drink frankincense in my water with my lemon every day. And since doing that, I haven't experienced those problems that I was experiencing before. So I'm extremely grateful for that technique with this oil, and I know there's other oils that you can do this with. But more commonly, people would use, so I should stop and talk about frankincense. Oh my goodness, because frankincense is the king of oils. So if in doubt, pull Frank out. He does everything, literally. So I use frankincense on my skin every single day as my moisturizer. It's really good for cellular repair. It's good for pain. So it's one we'll often combine with that ice blue or deep blue for any pain. It's good for immune support. So you want to maybe add it to any immune bends. You can combine it with your OnGuard. It's good for any anxious feelings. So I will often put a drop under my tongue if I'm feeling a little bit anxious. It's just absolutely anything. You can boost any single blend that you make by adding some drops of frankincense. And it's a beautiful one to diffuse as well. Just an absolute powerhouse of the oils, and worth some research as well on pubmed.gov about what it can do. So the other way is ingestion. So here's some food ideas. I am absolutely crazy obsessed with the idea of using the oils in food. My husband's amazing at using them in this way, and we run a raw food cooking workshop that I know some of you on here have been to, and we just love it, like the pop of flavor it gives, but to know it's actually adding therapeutic benefit to our food as well is just absolutely incredible. So that's my little middle munchkin there with her little Jaffa chocolate balls that she makes with cashews, dates, raw cacao, and some coconut with the wild orange essential oil, and they're absolutely gorgeous. So when we're talking about ingestion, the digestive blend is one that is incredibly popular. So Digesten is a beautiful blend of peppermint, ginger, fennel, caraway, anise, tarragon, all those things that we know are good at aiding digestion. So a lot of digestion, sorry. So a lot of people would just take a drop of this in their water and drink it after eating or even before eating, and they stop any tummy discomfort. I personally don't really like the taste of it because it smells and tastes a bit like Sambuca. It's not my favorite thing to do, but a lot of people are completely fine with it. I will actually sometimes take a little, maybe like a tiny little shot glass with a little bit of water, just a drop, and take it that way, so I don't have to experience it like a whole glass of it. But it's one that, again, you could make a little roller bottle and just put it over the tummy, and that's how we use it for our kids. We'll even put it on their feet, and it helps with their tummy as well, because they don't like the taste of it, and it just works incredibly that way as well. So we can take it in a veggie cap as well, which I'm going to talk about in a second with oregano. So oregano, oh my goodness, This is a hot oil. So if you are opening this right now, make sure the end doesn't touch your nose, or you don't accidentally touch it and then touch somewhere sensitive on your body, because you will know about it. This one will burn off things on your body that you don't want. You can look that up, what that might be. And it is incredible for immune support. So I will actually combine the OnGuard with oregano, but I use teeny tiny amounts of the oregano because it's so strong. So if we remember our ratio, this is a little 15 milliliter bottle. So I'm going to be putting 7 to 8 drops of essential oil in a bottle this size. It's a little spritzer. So I would actually put 7 of the OnGuard and 1 of the oregano. That would be it. We just want to use teeny tiny amounts of the oregano because it's so powerful. But we've had incredible experiences with this for tummy troubles in our daughter. I use it in all my, if we're feeling under threat, we always bring out the oregano. It's one that you shouldn't be using every single day because it is so powerful. So they recommend no more than 10 days in a row to be using this one. You can use it in cooking. So 1 drop of oregano in your bolognese tastes absolutely amazing. 2 drops and you've ruined it. So you do have to be cautious with this. You can pour it into a little side dish or something just to make sure, or you can even get a toothpick and put it in the center, like the little hole in the middle just takes a toothpick perfectly. And you can then turn it upside down and then stir that through foods if you've just got smaller amounts. Once it's in, you can't take it out. So just be really, really cautious with that one. So in terms of taking this internally, it would actually burn your throat. So the digestion, people take it internally. I don't like the taste, but that's different to actually, causing damage inside there. So a really nice way to be able to take oils that are really supportive internally is with these veggie caps. So these are just like little vegetable cells, and you can basically make your own little capsules. So you might put you would put some carrier oil in there, maybe something like an olive oil or something that's safe to ingest. And then you put your drops of oil or whatever it is you're wanting to do, if it's to support your immune system or support your digestive system, whatever it is that you're looking to do, you put your drops of oil in there, and then you can swallow that and it's not going to harm you, and it's then diluted on the inside of your body as well. So that's a really nice alternative. So say with those seasonal threats that we were talking about earlier with the lemon, lavender and peppermint, if you don't want to be putting those over your skin so that you're photosensitive, you could actually put a drop of each of these in some olive oil in a little veggie cap, and people have huge success with that. You can actually buy those ready-made from doTERRA as well. They're called Tri-Ease. So how do we know what oils to put in the veggie caps, or which oils to use for what? This is what was missing for us when our oils sat in our cupboard for 2.5 years and we didn't know what to do. We were missing the Bible. So Modern Essentials, this is an absolutely incredible book. You can get it from au.aromatools.com if you're in Australia, ascentoils.co.uk if you're in the UK, or if you're in the US, from aromatools.com. If you're in Australia, please don't go to aromatools.com because they'll charge you hundreds of dollars in shipping. So just use the Aussie version at the top there. So this goes through every single oil and all its chemical constituents, all its properties, what it's good for. It will list all the research articles that are available for this. So doTERRA are very much about the science. They're very much about producing science. So they've actually produced more peer-reviewed research in the last 12 months than has ever been produced in essential oil history. And they are catching up with the experiences that we're having. So then you can look up at the back pretty much any single ailment, and it's going to give you a list of protocols and suggestions. You don't have to use all the oils they're suggesting because a lot of oils will share similar properties. So it's about what you've got. And if you do start with one of the kits, you're pretty much guaranteed to be able to deal with like 99% of the ailments that come up there. And there is an app version of this, which is about $11, just called exactly the same thing, Modern Essentials. It doesn't go into so much detail, but in terms of looking up ailments and the protocols and suggestions, it's all there exactly the same way. So I'm going to talk about how you actually get these oils into your life and how you can get them exactly the same price as we're all paying. So the model is with doTERRA that you open a wholesale account. Now, I personally found this a really scary words, and it took me ages to actually come on board because I didn't understand what it meant. So it is actually a little bit like Costco, where you just pay a membership fee and then you get a discount on the prices. Doesn't mean that you're locked into anything. You don't have to go shopping there. You just get access to cheaper prices, and that's all it is. So you, by opening a wholesale account, you get a 25% discount on everything for a year. You'll end up paying the same prices that I'm paying and everyone else is paying. You get your own login and password to your own private online shop. So you can order what you want, when you want, and it gets shipped straight to you. You never have to order through anyone or talk to anyone or deal with anyone. You just jump online and get what you want. When you do join, you'll have a free wellness consultation with the person that introduced you, and you'll have one-to-one support. Now, this is especially for me, I'm so passionate about making sure that people actually know what to do with the oils and feel like they have a place that they can ask questions, because I understand truly from my own experience what it means to be with these oils and not know what to do with them. So we have our own Facebook members only support group, and if you're joining through somebody else, I'm sure they have something similar that you can lock into too. You also have access to the wider community of doTERRA. So even though we are in teams, we're all one family and we support each other. In fact, some of my best friends are in completely different teams in doTERRA, and we really work and collaborate together. You also get access to members only specials that you can opt to take part in if you'd like to. And you have the option to earn points back on orders, a bit like frequent flyers. You can also earn commissions, you can get free shipping every month, and you can be sent free oils every month. So what does it cost? It sounds like it's going to be really expensive, but it's really not. So it's actually free if you start with any of the enrollment kits, which blows me away. And the enrollment kits themselves are heavily discounted, so they save you either $120 or $210 for the next one up. If you don't want to start with the kit, that's totally fine. You can just pay the $35 and completely customize your order to what you want. But remember, you're going to have an account for a year, so you don't have to buy everything when you first join. You can build your collection slowly over time, and that's totally okay too. So your wholesale access lasts for a year. You can renew this for $25, and they send you a $26 bottle of oil, or £18 in the UK, and they send you a £17 bottle of oil. So it's effectively free to renew if you choose to, but you're never locked into anything. What does it not mean? What does having a wholesale account not mean? So you are not locked into anything ever. You never have to buy another oil or product again, but we know that you'll want to, but you're not forced to. You are never committed to any ongoing purchases ever. You do not have to do the monthly order ever. And even if you do choose to do this, because it's amazing, you are free to stop this at any time. You do not have to sell the oils to anyone ever. So actually, 85% of people that join doTERRA never introduce a friend. So you're absolutely welcome to just use the oils for personal use. How do you set it up? You go to mydoterra.com/whatever your friend's name is. So the most important thing is that you go back to the person that introduced you to doTERRA. We have a gorgeous culture here where we're really supportive, and we don't want to be taking people away from other people. So if somebody has spoken to you about the oils or given you some samples or been helping you, go back to them and they will help you, and they will show you how to do this, and they will give you their little website link so that you can join with them, join their team, be supported by them, and go on this beautiful journey together. If you have joined or have come across doTERRA through me, then I welcome you, and you're very welcome onto my team, and I would absolutely love to support you. And so my website is mydoterra.com/healthy munchkins, but that's only if I'm the first person that's introduced you to doTERRA. So here you'll see when you get to that website, there are two options: to shop or to join and save. So shop actually means you're going to be paying retail price. You're going to be paying 25% more than the rest of us, which is pretty terrible. So you want to click the join and save, which is going to give you that 25% discount. So choose local shipping, choose wholesale prices, enter all your details, and then just choose how you want to start. You might want to start with the $35 and customize your order, or you might want to start with one of the kits. And then that's it. You're welcome to the family, and look out for heaps of information and support coming your way. So what are the best ways to start? We now have a huge number of people on our team, and I have seen time and time again, the people who do start with a kit do have the best experience. This is because they get the most amount of oils for their money, and they can actually see it change so many different areas of their life. Some people will come and say, well, I just really need help with sleep. So they might get 2 or 3 oils, and it might really help with their sleep, but they really miss out on seeing that bigger vision of how amazing these oils can impact so many different areas of your life. You know, 1 bottle of lemon can really help with a tickly throat, and it can help me cleanse my body, and it can help me clean my bench top, and it can help to take sticky labels off things, and so many other things, and help with those seasonal threats. So, you know, to be able to see how many different ways these oils can impact your home, I really do believe that the kit is the best way for most people to start. If you do have really specific needs, then talk to the person that introduced you to doTERRA, and they will help you find the best oils for you. So not everybody is suited to the kit, but the vast majority of people are. So you'll see here, these are our 2 most popular kits. We have the Home Essentials kit here on the left, which is the one we've been through today, those top 10 oils. And then over on the right, we've got the Nature Solution kit. So you're saving a lot more money with this Nature Solution kit. You still get those top 10 but you got heaps of, you get the next ones that we would want to be adding, ones that are going to help with your cleaning. You've got the hand wash and toothpaste, and the tension stick, and the hormone support blend, and the skin ointment, and you've got the carrier oil and a beautiful wooden box and heaps of other things in there as well. So with the Home Essentials kit, I would recommend to add the carrier oil, because that doesn't come with that kit, and then you can start using them straight away, basically. There is a smaller kit, what we call a mini kit, and these are exactly the same oils that are in the Home Essentials kit, but they are a 5 milliliter bottle. So you're going to get 80 to 85 drops in a 5 milliliter bottle, as opposed to the 15 ml bottles, which have 250 drops. So you can see here that actually the Home Essentials kit, you get 3 times the amount of oil and a diffuser, and it's not even double the price. So that is why a lot of people do start with either Home Essentials or the Nature Solution kit. You would need to add the carrier oil to that one as well. So if you want to look up the price list and look at the enrollment kits and all the options that are available, go to doTERRAtools.com and have a look at that. So we're going to talk about the monthly ordering system that you might have heard me talk about earlier. Now, this is completely optional. Once you do have an account, you do have the option to take part in a monthly order. So this is something that you're free to join and something that you're free to leave at any stage. The reason why the vast majority of people that have a doTERRA account do take part in the loyalty rewards or monthly order is because it is so incredibly generous. So you'll see here, you get your shipping back on every single order. You can earn points, well you do, you earn points back for your purchases, so it's a bit like frequent flyers. You can get sent free oils every single month, a minimum of 1 free oil every month. You can also earn money from anyone else who orders if that's something that you're interested in. And obviously using the oils regularly and actually replacing things that you're using in your home already is going to give you much better health. So for us, we no longer walk down the cleaning aisle. We no longer walk down the body product aisle. We have replaced so much in our home that it's actually way more affordable for us to use the oils. So in terms of the points back, it works a bit like Woolies. You collect points and then you redeem them. So you'll see here for Woolies, if you collect 2,000 points, you get $10 off your shopping. With doTERRA, for the equivalent of those 2,000 points for spending the same amount of money, you would get $558 off your shopping. So that's before we even consider the free shipping and the free oils that they send you every month, and the fact that you can earn money on top of that. So it's incredibly generous. So you can see here, back to my recommendations, we've got that Home Essentials kit in the purple and the Nature Solution in the pink. These are the 2 most popular ones. When we're talking about getting points back on the monthly ordering system, you start at 10%. So every time, if you were, say, to do a 100-point order on the monthly, which you can't start until the month after you join, so this will be on your next order. So if you were to do a 100-point order, you'd get 10 points back, plus you get your shipping back. But if you were to start, and that increases over time as well. So every 3rd month that you place an order over 50 points, it increases by 5% until you're getting 30% back on everything you buy. So I personally get 30% back on everything I buy, plus my shipping back. So it's incredibly generous. You'll see over here with the Nature Solution kit, you actually start on 15%. So you've got a 3-month head start if you were to start your monthly order starting next month. And on top of that, if you start your monthly order next month, they'll also give you an additional 100 points credit, which is worth, say, $120, $130. So that is a really beautiful way to start and really covers so many bases across your home. And you don't need to get the carrier oil with that either. So when you do join doTERRA, you have the option to live, to share, and to build. Now, I much prefer the word love over live. So I believe you either love the oils or you're sharing them or you're building them. So what does it mean to love the oils? It means that you're getting your 25% discount. It means you're getting up to that 30% back on your monthly orders. It means you can get free shipping, free oils, access to all our private groups and all the support. We have private classes and groups available, and you're just living a healthy lifestyle in this gorgeous, supportive community. You have the option, if you would like to share the oils. You don't have to ever. Most people don't, but if you'd like to, a lot of people who fall in love with the oils, they find they're naturally just telling their friends about them. And they're even thinking, like when you come to a webinar, something like this, you might think, oh, such and such would really benefit from hearing this. And that's totally okay. So one of our team can come out to your home with your friends, just a small group around a dining table is perfect. And that way you can actually start getting your oils paid for if you start to introduce people. You don't have to teach anything. It's just about you bringing some friends together and helping them with their health while you're also getting rewarded by getting your oils paid for. And then there is the option to build a business. So this was something that I definitely didn't want to do when I started, but because of naturally sharing and wanting my friends to experience this, somehow organically we have this beautifully, amazingly beautiful business, and we've been able to sell our existing family business. So it's all, everything that you have about loving the oils, it's all everything we have about sharing the oils, but it's going on to then replace and multiply your income for life. Now, a lot of people who are drawn to this will actually donate income to philanthropic projects. So the idea behind doTERRA is that you become free to give. So if you are living an abundant lifestyle, you have that freedom to be able to go and work on these projects. And a lot of leaders in doTERRA work philanthropically with a lot of these causes, just like they've just been out in Africa last week doing that. So you have the opportunity to change the health and well-being of the world, which is a pretty incredible thing. This is a booming company. It's growing absolutely exponentially. It's on a growth par with Apple, how it was in its first year. So this is really changing the way we look at healthcare. You get training from world-class mentors and the freedom and abundance in every sense of the word. And if you're interested in that, please again reach out to your team, or if that's me, then I would love to support you through that. So just in summary, these doTERRA oils are the most pristine and potent oils on the planet. They source the oils globally, so these are where they thrive and flourish in their natural environment, which gives us the highest therapeutic profiling that we could be looking for across the planet. We want to make sure that you're looking into resources and into support networks that can guide you with safety. It's so important that you understand the safety aspects and that you come to workshops and that you listen to webinars like this so that you can fully understand how to find that information about these oils. So yeah, lock into that support and continue your education. I always encourage people to keep coming to classes. You always learn something new. The other thing is to make sure you go back to the person who introduced you, because we want to be growing with our friends. And my recommendation is to start with a kit for the vast majority of people, because it's going to revolutionize your home. But speak to the person that's introducing you and they will help you, and it will be based on your needs. It won't be based on their agenda. We really want to help you get the absolute best thing for you. So be prepared to change your life, and know that you have the option to either love and share or build if you choose to. So I'm going to be around for about 10 minutes for those of you who are on here live to answer any questions. There's a snapshot of some of my workshops. It's coming to a little bit of an end, but there's some January ones in there. But always check on my Healthy Munchkins Facebook page or on Eventbrite and just search for Healthy Munchkins, and you can always see what classes I'm running. And I love running classes and I love having people there. So everybody is welcome, no matter where you're coming from. So thank you all for being here, and I'm going to stop recording now.